they made another one of these. They made another one of these OVAs after screwing the pooch royally with Mars the Destruction. Okay, but instead of dragging out this introduction, let's cut straight to the point. Skelter in Heaven, or to use its full name, Tenkuu Danzai Skelter+heaven, is an OVA adaptation of a game that never got localized over here, and after seeing the footage, yeah, I can understand why. It's basically just a visual novel with terrible CG in its FMV sequences. It also has the main leads in skimpy combat outfits, which I'm sure won't be repeated with the company's later games at all. Now, my previous encounter with this company, minus the Neptunia anime, since while the game was made by this group, the anime itself was made by a different studio, was Mars to Destruction, which, well... The ancients were the original inhabitants of Earth! Oh my god! Kinda sucked. So will this be any better? I mean, it's part of this marathon, so I think that speaks for itself. So instead of asking if it's better, the real question is, does this deserve the title as one of the worst? And to be honest, I mean, I'm already going into this on a bad note. Not just because of their previous works, but also because I've seen a lot of garbage adaptations recently. But even pushing aside all that, this OVA is fucking terrible. Now, normally this is where I go over the story, but see, this OVA barely gives me much to talk about. An octopus shows up, it exists for a bit, and then they kill it. Before the ending shot reveals a bunch more of its species arriving on Earth, and they are just floating there, menacingly.
Fuck.
Sure, outside of that, there's scenes of them talking / giving exposition, but it comes off as awkward / poorly executed, as the bits of exposition don't really make the world of Skelter in Heaven all that more interesting / defined. And other bits mentioned, like the relationship / past bonds with people, feel incredibly rushed or feel like something is missing from these bits. And that's probably because, well, a lot of it is missing. This OVA is 19 minutes long. As such, a lot of important details to make the story better / give it more substance is lost, and what we have is an incredibly neuter product that ultimately doesn't work for fans of this property and those who've never seen or heard of Skelter in Heaven. And normally this would be the bit where I recommend the video game, but see, this OVA, for whatever reason, reuses cutscenes from the game and just puts it in here. Yeah, you know how some people say that video games are becoming more like movies nowadays? Well, in 2004, Idea Factory was ahead of the game on that front, because this OVA is taking stuff from the games and putting it in here, and it really, really shows. Because remember what I said earlier about the CG? Yeah, it's in here too! And like I said earlier, it looks like crap, especially when compared to other PS2 games. I get that you couldn't make the CG better since the budget for an anime / OVA is smaller than a lot of video games back then, but then again, why not just do the mechs without the CG? Well, it kinda says something when Gundam Seed, which had more episodes than this, and was also made for TV, had better looking animation for its mechs than this, and that came out 2 years prior than this. I'm sorry, I just can't get over that. They were so lazy when making this animation that they insert a decent amount of footage from the PS2 title into their OVA, despite making original animation for this OVA, so it makes me ask, why the hell even bother making the OVA to get people to buy your game when you're basically just gonna sell them the equivalent of a 20-minute cutscene for money? Christ, you might as well just buy the game or just use that money to buy something with effort put into it, making this OVA a waste of fucking time. It's movies like this that make me hate adaptations more and more, because when you are literally ripping stuff out of the video game for your video game adaptation, then why even bother with the OVA in the first place, aside from a quick buck? Because, yeah, that worked out so well with House of the Dead, am I right? You know what? No. Fuck this. Instead of continuing this fucking rant, let's take the piss out of this film instead. So if I keep swiping right, will it give me a character who has a design that doesn't make me want to bleach my eyes? Didn't think the next alternative fuel in this world after oil would be urine.
If it's from that circus freak show again, tell him to fuck off.
Ah yes, the most deadliest of exercises, moving up and down! Sorry, but after the lawsuit we got for ripping off Eva, we can't let another bootleg mecha character be given the main role in this. Sorry, Carly Klein. This is the last time I ate a chili pepper. What's the status? She's contracted off-screenitis! Damn, if only we had a guy who can destroy a single tree. He could stop them. I can't even say the music or characters were all that great, since like the story, there's not a lot to write home about or even remember. Hell with the characters, they're also neutered much like the product itself. Is it fun to rip apart? Yes, but that's not so much something I can give in this movie's favor, since literally anything good or bad can be made into a fun riff.
Oh wait, so the swine-up finally shows up. I thought he got turned into bacon.
So yeah, what a surprise. This OVA sucked balls, no surprise there. But, does it deserve the title? Yes. I'm not even going to play it off with theatrics here. This OVA is minimal effort put into it minus the new animation. It was a heavily new adaptation of a game that already didn't look that great to begin with. I couldn't even laugh at the failures in animation this time around like I did with Mars of Destruction. So yeah, 2 entries into this marathon, and I've already found a title that is genuinely awful and one of the worst pieces of animation I have seen in a while. So fuck this movie. I'm going to go burn it. I'll see you next time.
It's been 2 years since you've been locked up, yet you still haven't moved from that spot.
Has it really been that long? I haven't noticed.
You went along with Will so easily. Is this part of your plan, or is there something you're not telling us?
7 rings have left this world, haven't they? How does that make you feel, being a creature of hope but doing nothing?
Stop avoiding the question.
One of your own men was responsible for that, you know. Still surprised you keep him around, but I get it. After all, you need someone to take the fall of your own mistakes.
What are you getting at?
Don't play dumb. Who was in charge of your operation when Apophis killed all those people in Egypt? Who could have intervened and stopped him before all of this happened?
It's easy to sit there on your high ground when you have those below you to hide all the nasty stuff on the bottom. So tell me, does he know? You never answered my question. What is your plan?
You can try to avoid owning up to your mistakes, but it will only get you so far. But fine, I'll say it. What if I told you that I set all this up to kill one person? When we're born, the successful births are kept, but the unsuccessful ones, or the ones with defects, are killed or reworked for other purposes.
Yes, that is true, because some of the ones with defects could have effects/powers that could kill them, or the world itself due to the power also being defective/broken. But that is also why we try our best to remove those defects, or make them quirkless to save them.
But see, one of them was born with a defect, and the doctors said they didn't have an ability from birth. However, they were wrong. Their powers did exist, it just never activated until they had puberty. And I've been testing these lanterns for years to see if they could stop/kill this person. Because if unchecked, their power could be strong enough to destroy the planet itself. Little did I know, they were a lantern the whole time, and I just didn't see it in my 10 years of searching for them. Until I saw them on the TV in Egypt.
Assuming I believed you, who is this person?
They have the power to destroy this world. They had the power of the lanterns, and now they have an opportunity to make a child more powerful than them. That person is Susan Majax.